What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Chris, as always with me,
Liam.
and today we are diving into Foundation Season 3, Episode 10, the finale. Man, Season 3 did not disappoint. I believe it was the best season yet, and the finale was quite the roller coaster itself. We had a lot to dive into. Did they deliver? Did it fall short? How did you really feel about the many deaths that we got, the many ends of awesome characters? And really a lot to unpack. So if you're brand new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. The way this works is if you enjoy this video, hit that like button. That's how we know you enjoy this piece of content. If you want to continue on this journey with us, the subscribe button is the best way to do that, because then you can never miss another video. And we like to have a conversation with you, not just ourselves. And so the best way to do that is down in the comments below. The only thing that we ask is if you've read the books or you have some insights into maybe where this will go next, just don't spoil it for us. Let us find out on our own and experience it in real time. That's what we love to do and love to talk about. And so if that's for you, then you're in the right place, and strap in because we're about to dive in. Let's do it.
So I was half right. Beta was the mule.
Yeah, you were on that. So I dismissed it so many times that you brought it up, and you were on it. You definitely had that sixth sense that there was something going on there more with Beta, and I just kept wanting to ignore it. And you were absolutely correct that she was the mule. I made a note when I was watching it. I said, Beta's the mule, exclamation point. I'm going to need to rewatch this season again because I totally missed this. Because there were several times that I'm almost positive the mule acted when Beta wasn't anywhere near him, which leads me to believe that she's more powerful than I thought, but then Gale beats her so easily. So I'm really confused.
Gale's been training all those years, though.
But the mule,
she mentions it in this episode.
Yeah, it's still that whole mule thing. The next thing I wrote was mule fight was anti-climactic and too quick. Like that whole thing happened so fast. It was like we built a whole, more than one season, because we got introduced to the concept of the mule in the end of the second season. So over a whole season plus, we got led up to this fight, this climatic thing that was going to happen, this twist, this reveal, and it felt like it just went womp womp to me. Like it fell short.
So I am really disappointed in the reasoning for what the only implication we can have for why Beta was the one that was going to be sacrificed, and it feels like the boring trope of, oh, just because she's a woman.
Yeah, that's exactly where my mind went to, is that they finally had a son, and a son in an economy where you have to work hard with your hands and be laborful is more valuable.
China was.
We've seen it in our own world, in real history, right? So it makes sense that that would be where our mind goes. But yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought because she was the firstborn and she was a female, once they had a baby boy, she was basically obsolete.
And then,
yeah.
And to me, that was fucking boring.
Yeah, I don't think they used the flashbacks well. Like, I didn't feel like I didn't feel tricked or like the switch was viable to me. It felt off. Like I didn't feel good about it. And maybe because I do have a little bit of like, I didn't see this coming. I really didn't think it was going to be Beta. But at the same time, it's like, I think that the flashbacks were just, it could have been more in there that let us like believe it, rather than it being just so abruptly in your face.
So I feel like they did a good job hiding who the mule was.
Oh yeah.
They did a very good job with that. But the reveal felt entirely too rushed.
Yeah,
this whole episode felt rushed.
Anticlimactic and quick is what I got for how I felt. Yeah.
I'm extremely disappointed.
So I am hopeful as well, though, because there are other arcs and other storylines that are happening that piqued my interest hard, especially the cliffhanger at the end, right? But yeah, I would say for an entire season of being built up to be this one-on-one mentalic battle where they're going to battle it out inside their minds, and she even like tees up this episode where the whole battle will take place in this battleground that I built. They were in that battleground for 3 seconds and she slits his throat. Come on. I could have done with way less of Dusk walking around and like sneaking around and just have him execute his plan.
He's not Dusk anymore.
It's darkness, right? Yeah, but yeah, dude, I agree with you. Rush, what do you guys think? Like, was the reveal a twist you didn't see coming like it was for me? And also, did it feel like we had this whole season of buildup for this quick, and then we jumped into the next thing? I don't know. What do you guys think? I could be wrong. I usually am sometimes, you know. I wasn't wrong about Brother Dude being the one who brings back like the way.
You call that way at the beginning of the season. We got so disappointed by that reveal.
Yeah.
Like it annoyed the shit out of me that everything you said was spot on so early into watching the season.
The arc made sense to me. It's probably one of the only predictions this season I've gotten right. And I'm glad that I got it so right that it makes you feel uncomfortable. But yeah, that to me wasn't as satisfying as I wanted it to be. But I had to remove the fact that, like, okay, I'm not writing this story. It doesn't have to be my story. It doesn't have to end the way I expect it to. And then when they gave us the cliffhanger at the end, I said, oh, they didn't. They actually gave me something to bite on. I like this. But yeah, for Brother Dude to come all the way back, for him to make it to the palace, make it to Demerzel, for them to have that reuniting as him transformed into the new Cleon that he became, for him to want to save her, to like actually try to circumvent her programming to help her save herself. We get confirmation that if she were to clasp with another robot, she would rewrite her programming. Like, we got everything we needed, and then we got Brother Dusk or Brother Darkness.
But that was even rushed. Like, I want a Brother Dude to go ahead and be more than what we got here. I want more screen time. I want more, I don't want to say hand holding. I guess more build.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can think to put it, is just more build to it.
The only thing I could think of, and I had this thought after the initial time I watched it, because I've watched it twice now. After the first time I watched it, I had a feeling like this didn't feel like a finale.
No.
All in all, when I was done, it felt like there were so many loose ends still and so much unanswered that it felt like it should have been episode 9 almost. And that there's still a whole other episode coming that's going to put all those pieces together for us, not the cliffhanger into season 4, which it is confirmed for season 4. So we will get season 4 of Foundation, which it's one of Apple TV's best shows. So I didn't think it wasn't going to get a season 4. But, you know, where is that going to go? Normally we get from season to season, we get a time jump, but now we can't because we have only one Cleon who's on the throne. Well, we have more than one Cleon, but one sitting the throne. There's no more clones. The genetic dynasty as we know it is destroyed, but we do have Dawn, who's still with the Mule. We have Darkness, who's sitting the throne. And then we still have the unaccounted for natural baby that Cleon the 18th and Queen Seraph, I'm saying her name wrong, from the Cloud the Dominion that got destroyed from season 2. They have a legitimate Cleon baby somewhere out there in the universe. They got away. We never hear about them being punished or taken care of, or they're just gone.
I completely forgot about that.
So we do have a chance for Lee Pace to actually show back up on screen, because Dawn will eventually age up, right? The Dawn we see now with the messed up legs may eventually become like a Lee Pace who's like in a wheelchair or something like that we get later on. Because otherwise it looks like the actors as we know them who played Demerzel and Day would be no longer in season 4 based on the deaths that we saw. But I'm going pretty fast, so if you want to stop me at any point and keep going into, stop me. But I don't think Demerzel's dead.
She's not. They show her linking.
That's not her. That's the brazen head that Day brings back.
I thought that head was linking with Demerzel, and then the ones that are full-bodied, more that we never knew existed, were just tapping into that.
No, so upon the second watch, I got a little bit more detail. And so what's actually happening there is the brazen head is reaching out and clasping all, like you could see on the screen, it shoots out and goes all the way across the universe and then links up with another robot. So it's not, if it was just Demerzel, it'd be like right there. But it goes across, it leaves the planet, goes across the universe and links with a robot. So what I think is happening is the brazen head is linking with a robot on Moonbase.
Okay.
And that there's a on our moon, as we know it, Earth's moon, there is a society of robots that live inside the moon.
On the crater of the dark side.
Yeah. On a much more, it looks like the Earth is, the water has risen quite a bit, water levels, like, or receded actually, because the Gulf of Mexico is not like a lake. If you look at it real quick, like if you pause it, it looks like there's a lot less water than there was before and a lot less greenage than there was before. Like the Earth has been fast forward in time.
Or it could be history for us.
Or, yeah, could be.
Because we don't know what current time is on Earth. That Earth.
Correct. And we do know that in this universe, Earth exists, right? Because we do know that Demerzel was made on Earth. She mentions that. And we've heard through other, just talking and musings throughout the seasons that like they've heard of Earth, but it's like this myth, this thing that no one's ever actually seen. So this is our first time in the series actually seeing it.
So we're essentially like Atlantis.
Yeah, like the Earth is like where we believe we originated on Earth, but then we went out into the stars and we've created these empires and these the dominions in these different areas and like left that behind. And it makes sense when you look at it because it looks like we've depleted the freaking resources off of it. So
yeah, that checks out with human beings.
yeah.
But midnight when
Darkness.
Yeah. Sorry.
I was doing that too for a minute. I'm like, is it midnight or darkness? It's darkness.
Okay.
It's the name of the episode. That's how I'm trying to remember it.
So darkness feels like he just full on snapped. Is this he feels like, what's the trope? The Mad King.
Yeah, that's totally the vibes I'm getting. So we've gotten confirmation verbally that because of the genetic drift that the mind of a Cleon starts to deteriorate much quicker. We got that verbal confirmation. And then we've got on-screen confirmation that Dusk was fracturing, right? He was starting to snap. He was really struggling with the idea that he was about to die. And yeah, I think Mad King is probably one of the best ways to describe it, except for he's an emperor. But yeah, like, well, he just lost his mind and he's doing everything he can to stay in his, what did he say to Day as he was dying and he was drinking? He's like, I'd like to stay in my world and see it through, or whatever he says to him. I like to keep living in my world. Yeah. So Dusk skips the nanites and goes and destroys the entire Tower of Clones. And like the cinematography of that waterfall of just flesh and body and blood was insane. Did you catch that as he's running with the baby and it's just like...
Yeah, I thought it was cool because it was almost like baptism also when he first blew it up with the blood dripping on him. Yeah.
There's been multiple times in this season where he's like supposed to be the Cleon who like is the conciliator, right? So he's like anti-violence. He wants to just bring everybody together. But there have been multiple times in this season where they've hinted to his like violent inner nature. Like there's been blood on him multiple times. There's been times where like his little gesture or like his snap makes you think that like, okay, he has a little bit of violence inside of him. And then
you mentioned all of them do.
Yeah, well, that's how they're raised. They even say it. We weren't raised to be kind. And I think that we were being told the entire season that Dusk was going to do this. And maybe we were so caught, I personally was so caught up in the Mule stuff that I wasn't paying close enough attention to realize that this was what's about to happen.
So where do you think they're going to go for season 4?
I think we're going much deeper into metallics and robots. Because I think what we establish is that like they're kind of like the future of what we have going on. Like we have the end of the clones and the Cleonic dynasty. Right now we have the metallics being the strongest presence in the galaxy or in the universe, which is the Mule right now, and Gale, who can combat her eventually. But then you also have this other variable that we're being introduced to and hinted to very heavily, which is that the robots. Demerzel was not the last robot, and there actually is more going on here. We got introduced to the fact that Callie actually is a robot, confirmed, and that there's a skinless robot hanging out with her, almost like her right-hand man or butler or henchman or whatever he might be, but definitely more than one. And then she refers to him as multiples. So like as if there are more of them that aren't in the room.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, oh, so leads me to believe there's a whole base under the moon of robots that are working together.
So what? They're just biding their time?
Well, their programming is to ensure the safety of humanity, right? Of the civilization as a whole, of humanity as a whole.
So that's why Kali keeps interjecting in the current events type stuff.
It seems to me like they're playing like a game where almost like
A watcher.
like a watcher or like the devil and God or like Good Omens, where it's like they can influence the situation, but they directly can't interact in the situation.
Okay.
So it's like a whisper or an action.
Or a nudge.
It's a nudge more than an actual action. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. Where she gives Demerzel the idea, and then Demerzel follows through and gets killed, but that's putting all the pieces in place that they need to actually get the full thing done. I thought Demerzel was getting played, and I think ultimately she was.
You were right about that too. So there, at least two things.
Yeah. Demerzel, I would say, is one of my top 3 favorite characters of this show. And so when she got cooked up, I was a little like, damn it. But then when the skull was left, and then Brother Dusk specifically said how powerful and like resistant the Radiant is, and we got total hints all this season that a piece of Demerzel went into building the Radiant. So if a piece of Harry's in there, and they can bring Harry back to life, if a piece of Demerzel's in there, they can definitely bring Demerzel back too. So I'm not too upset. And her skull is remaining. So as we already saw, basically if you have the skull, you can rebuild the rest. Mm-hmm. So I'm hopeful that one of my favorite characters is gone. And again, we already talked about Lee Pace and Brother Day being able to come back in multiple ways too. So another one of my favorite characters being able to come back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so the only other thing I think the only other thing we haven't really talked about,
Gale and Harry,
and the Foundation 2 was a twist at the end there too that we have to kind of talk about. But yeah, so Gale tricks. So that was something that was interesting to me. I think as the viewer, we weren't supposed to know that at some point on their way to challenge the Mule, Gale was able to get to Magnifico. Or at least get to his instrument and be able to change the frequency.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you brought that up, because I don't think it's the instrument that they fucked with. They didn't show it when she went to go check out Magnifico, see his love thing. Mm-hmm. I think they just never showed us what she did after that, where she only said this stuff, but they came to the conclusion, and Gil showed how powerful she was in that moment, I guess, and just twisted it.
Yeah. I'm interested to know, because that's what either Gale figured out how, after failing the first time, to override the Mule's programming, mm-hmm. or she's smart enough to figure out like a loophole where something along the lines of like, hey, you'd want to play this song because this song's actually the Mule's favorite, mm-hmm. rather than, hey, play this song instead, right? Because it's working into the thought process that they already have, right? Meeting them where they're at. But I'm not really sure. The thing with me is she says, now he's playing my song. So as I'm talking it out, it would make sense to me what you're saying, that she had to have been able to get to him mentally to get him to play a different song. Otherwise, he physically would not be able to if the Mule still had control.
Mm-hmm. And Han's gone, right?
She took control of Han. He was weak anyway. He was always weak. He was too emotional, too driven by emotion, where Gale's like steadfast. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let us know in the comments below, because that's one thing when it comes with around the Mule, I have a lot of questions still, and I'm going to go back through season 3 and look for where Beta shows she really is, who she chose to be. But what really happened with Magnifico and the Bandolier and Gale? I'm really curious, because I think I missed that even watching it twice. Like, what exactly did she do?
I'm saying I don't think they showed her that.
Okay. Yeah, and then the other thing is, after she escapes and gets picked up, before she jumps away and gets to safety, Harry shows up from the vault.
Like,
looking to collect on promises due, yeah. And Gale straight up tells him, like, no, he's been dead for years, and I already knew that. And you could see, just like, he was already distraught and very, what's the word I'm looking for? I wouldn't say distressed, but
depressed.
depressed, distraught. Like he was living in his own personal hell, as he said. Like, this is my own prison.
I'm not above begging,
Right.
he says.
And then she basically tells him that the option I gave you wasn't an option at all. I lied the whole time. Yeah, so knowing Harry and knowing how bitter he can be, and I think that's going to come back to bite her for sure. So I don't think Gail's seen the last of Vault Harry and the repercussions of lying to him for sure. Then we get to see that the ambassador for Foundation 1 brings the Book of Full into the library and gets brought down by our librarian, who's undercover, down to where Demerzel was recently, speaking about how the robots used that same exact place to hide during the robot wars until they were ripped out and built over. And now the Foundation 2 is hiding right under Emperor's nose on Trantor in the library itself. That's interesting. Last place you're going to look is right under your nose.
Felt very Dresden Files when he's just playing with the Prime Radiant.
Yeah. He's an interesting character for sure. The leader of the second, what is he? Head speaker, they're called. Even though he can't speak, he's tons of wisdom. He had some really standout scenes in this season for sure, with him and Gale especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on a whole, season 3 finale felt more like
Deflated.
I don't think it was a finale. We definitely had some very high points and some very dramatic things have happened. Very big shift in the narrative and characters. However, I feel like I'm still waiting for another episode next week, And so let us know what you guys thought of season 3, especially the finale, down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. And if you want to see all of our videos as they come out, hit the notification bell to all so you see them as they drop. And other than that, we'll see you guys down in the comments and on one of our next videos. Peace.
Find the strength hiding in each battle scar. You're not who you were, you've already come far.